Well, good morning, friends. Mark Holmes here, of course, with my buddy Cowboy Joe Boo, as well as Joe Bear in the house. And as always, I want to thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. So let's get open for business here. And let's wake up the football gods. Wake up. Wake up there. How are you doing today on this Taco Tuesday? Today, I've got to hit the road and go down and take care of a problem, clogged up drain and stuff, snake that out, and get back up here. So I'm going to be leaving my baby and things. But this is day number 2 of trying to get myself in better shape to be able to fight off all these damn trolls. See, I got to get to my fighting weight because these trolls, I know it's going to be a rough offseason. For some reason, Washington fans, Eagle fans especially, and Giant fans think that they can just kind of like pound on us, even though their teams didn't do any better than what we did. They think that they have the right to troll us, and that's cool. That's cool. It's all in fun and games, but I'm going to get into my fighting shape right now. Some news on the Dan Quinn situation. I guess we can almost assume that Dan Quinn will be out the door. It just seems that way because he's a finalist. I think Denver's got it down to 3 candidates, including Dan Quinn. And you're seeing a lot of teams that are kind of moving up the schedule here because they're worried about playing musical chairs, and they're going to be left without a seat, or should I say coach. And so Dan Quinn is also a finalist for the Chicago Bears. The Bears always go defensive-minded. That's not been the Bears' problem. The problem with the Bears is they just have not had enough offense to go with great defense. But Dan Quinn, along with it, I'm surprised. I've been surprised because I have said for too long that I can't believe that Jim Caldwell could not get an interview. And apparently he is actually one of the finalists for the Bears because, see, Jim Caldwell was the last coach to get the Lions into the playoffs. We're talking about the Detroit Lions. In 4 years with the Lions, his worst season was 7-9. He had 3 winning seasons out of 4 and 2 playoff bursts. Now, I know that that's kind of like Cowboy-esque of what we've done recently, where we'll have a good season, get some wins, and one and done. But we're talking about the Lions. The Lions. He may be one of the few coaches for the Lions that actually has a winning record in the modern era. He gets fired after a 9-7 season, and for the last 5 years, his phone hasn't rang. So shout out to Jim Caldwell for getting an opportunity with the Bears. Maybe he'll have a chance. So for us as Cowboy fans, we can look at it and say, it looks like pretty much Dan Quinn is going to be out the door. Rich Eisen kind of questioned whether or not he is better as just a coordinator and not that guy to be a head coach. I guess we'll find out again. He did take a team to the Super Bowl, which is something we can say Jason Garrett didn't do, and Mike McCarthy hasn't done in the last 10 years. So there's that. But the question you have, we know that Jerry Jones is stewing right now. We're hearing rumors that he is infatuated with bringing Sean Payton here. We've heard rumors, of course, that even the owner of New Orleans says they don't know what Sean Payton's going to do. I don't think it's just as easy as him saying, I'm not coming back and I'm going to go coach the Cowboys. Something has to give, as in compensation, as well as buying out a contract. So who knows if that will actually come to fruition or not. And we know Jerry Jones has gone on notice and basically saying, if there's somebody better out there at any position, we will make a change. And he said, but when you think about guys like Bill Belichick, they're not available. Key wording on that, at any position. So if you're mad about the offense, if you're mad about Amari Cooper not having the season that you think that he should have, are you also mad at Kellen Moore, who is actually the one that Mike McCarthy said he installs the plays and he calls the plays? Is Jerry Jones also mad with Kellen Moore? Let me say that one more time. Is Jerry Jones also pissed at Kellen Moore, the play caller, the installer for the offense? The offense didn't go to your playmakers. The offense, which running game is predictable and was terrible the second half of the season. Is it that Jerry Jones wants Kellen Moore back? Kellen Moore, of course, has been on the circuit with Dan Quinn. Dan Quinn, we know, finished his interview yesterday with the Giants. The Giants have announced one person that they're already bringing back for a second interview. We don't know if they're going to want to see Dan Quinn or not. They did cancel the interview with Joe Witt, or said that there was never a request for Joe Witt. To me, that says we're not looking at Dan Quinn, because you're looking at Dan Quinn, then you'd want to be bringing other people that are familiar with Dan Quinn for that defensive coordinator position. But we know the Bears want to talk to him again, and they have it down to three candidates. Matt Eberflus is also on that list for the Bears, as well as for Denver. So it seems like people really like what they hear from Dan Quinn. We haven't heard anybody wanting Kellen Moore back for a second interview. So does Jerry Jones make a change at offensive coordinator, whether or not Kellen Moore gets another gig? That's the real question that we really need to be asking. We know that we're going to have a different defensive coordinator. I believe Mike Zimmer is probably one guy they will definitely talk to, because there's familiarity. And the thing about Jerry Jones is he likes familiarity. And we may be seeing with Jerry Jones, I want you to think back to the Jason Garrett era, because we can only go by what's done in the past. You know, Jerry Jones is an old dog. He doesn't have a whole lot of new tricks. When the Cowboys were failing at 8-8 and 8-8, they ended up taking the play calling away from Jason Garrett and basically saying, you know, there's too much on your plate. We want you to be focused on this. Could it be that the Cowboys end up doing something similar with Mike McCarthy, undermine some of his power, and kind of take this hostile takeover approach and say, we're going to go ahead and get such and such to be the offensive coordinator, and we're going to change the offense? That doesn't surprise me. In fact, if Jerry Jones does nothing, that would surprise me. If we don't have some major shakeup with, you know, Kellen Moore not coming back and them hiring somebody else, even though Kellen Moore doesn't get another job, that would surprise me. Hiring Dan Quinn as the head coach, I think that's past now. I think that's already water under the dam. Making a move for Sean Payton, that could be a possibility. But who knows when you're dealing with the Joneses family? The question right now is, going into this offseason with the mess that is and the aftermath of a 12-5 season and a first-round exit, are the Dallas Cowboys imploding? We've got 21 free agents. We got an owner who's mad at your number one receiver. You got an owner who's pissed off at your coach. You've got coordinators that are going to be leaving all over the place. The Cowboys need to figure out the direction that they're going, and they need to figure it out fast, because as much as we go ahead and think there's an off season, there's not. Come March 20th, whomever is not signed of those 21 free agents, they're a free agent to talk to anybody. And on the flip side, you've got to know what free agents you're going to target. The Cowboys need to get their coaching situation and philosophy down right now to know which one of these guys they need to be evaluated by whoever is the new defensive coordinator on who's going to stay and who's going to go. Because if you don't get on this thing soon, then you are screwed in having your team together for next year. And that's all I got to say about that. Anyway, I've got to hit the road so I can get my behind back here. As always, I appreciate all of you guys. Don't forget cooking and tailgating with Joe Boo. That's where I'm doing my diet, my keto diet, as well as my recipes and things. If you want to join in and be, so we can kind of support each other and things, by all means, subscribe to the channel. I'll be putting a video on there every morning on where I'm standing, what I'm doing, what I'm eating, and how I'm progressing on trying to get in better shape because, buddy, I got a whole lot of trolls to fight off. In the meantime, you know how we roll. Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Sports Report.